Hey, how's it going, folks? Little bit of a chilly morning here in northwestern Pennsylvania. About 17 degrees out. Gonna do a little bit of snow plowing. I just gotta say, I feel like as time goes on, it's like we just aren't getting stronger, right? I live in northwestern Pennsylvania. It's a snow belt. We get lake effect snow. It's not uncommon to get 12 to 15, 16 feet of snow over the course of a winter, on a normal winter. So, it's just strange how nowadays it seems like if there's going to be 4 or 5 inches of snow, there's a weather alert. It's like, oh, we're going to have this monster snow. And I'm like, this is normal for us, I mean, it's crazy. I remember years where it snowed every day, 4 or 5 inches for what seemed like a month. And, hey, you can see some snow behind me, but it's not anything crazy. Now, if you live down south and you're not used to this, yeah, you're going to think this is potentially the end of the world. But around here, not so much. But it's like, they want us to think it's that. They want the school to close. They want us to not drive. And I mean, we're tough Americans around here. We can handle this stuff. But I don't know. I guess, you got to like the snow if you want to live here. And, being able to drive in it, understanding what can happen, getting some good tires on your vehicle. Those are all some important things when you live around here. And for me, I've always said living around here means you got to enjoy the challenge of potentially getting 1-2 feet of snow. And when you get, a few inches, 5 inches, it's no big deal, right? You just do it. So I could say, I've shoveled a ton of snow in my life. As I've gotten older, it's nice to have a snowblower, it's nice to have a tractor, and then ultimately upgrade to one with a cab. So, when it's 17 degrees outside, I can, wear a fairly light jacket and, just kind of be able to snowplow essentially in a warm cab. But, this isn't anything big for us. I feel like we just got to get a little bit tougher, or maybe get back to our roots, kind of think of those pioneers back in the day. I always remark about the fact that people jumped off of a boat after a big long trip, and what'd they do? They had to hack a life out of, the wilderness. And it wasn't easy. It was hard. If you wanted warmth, you had to work hard to get warmth. If you wanted food, you better grow it. And we have this, great society now, but it's fragile. And if you don't know how to do stuff, if you are only about comfort and convenience, if being out here when it's 17 degrees and, not having a snowsuit on and, can only be out for 5 minutes, if those things, go away, are you tough enough to withstand it? What do you think people around the world think of us when we, got to shut our country down when you got an inch of snow? I don't know. At any rate, let's get going today.
All right. Let's get this baby fired up. Oh, here, a couple things. This is my Sportsman 850. You may have seen it in one of my other videos. I have a couple of them out there with a little bit of a review of the 850. This is a 2011 model. One of the things I never did was put a gun rack on it. I like to hunt, and when I'm out there, if I am transporting somebody, and you've got your rifles, it's nice to have a place to put your rifle. So I'm going to install these Colpin Rhino grips. I'm going to put them here on the lock and ride. My dad, kind of convinced me I needed these, and I said, you're right. And then guess what I got for Christmas? So thank you, Dad. Awesome. I'm going to mount these up. I've got a second set, so I'll be able to handle 2 rifles on here. But, should be kind of good. So let's get this bad boy fired up. Alright. Bring this thing to life. The lights on. That way no one runs us over when we're out there. Okay, so I talked about comfort and convenience. This is a very luxurious tractor. I enjoy it. It is a luxury purchase. I use the heck out of it. I've got over 530 hours on it. And, you know, as I open this door and close it all the time, I'm like, you know, maybe I need a garage door opener in this thing. I don't know. Let's move some snow. So as I said, it's 17 degrees out today. And we got, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches of snow between yesterday and today. Okay, we gotta go a little faster than that. Things I have to be careful of is this corner of my house and that corner of my house when I am plowing, making sure I don't run the cab into it. So, things I'm thankful for today. Well, nice warm house, this tractor, a heated cab. I know I talked about the, you know, comfort and convenience thing, but, you know, I'm getting older, and it's nice to not freeze to death all the time. Now, here's the thing. I think Americans, we could benefit from channeling our inner, let's call it, Navy SEAL, right? So I'm a big fan of the Navy SEALs. If you're a Navy SEAL and watching this, or have a family member who's a Navy SEAL, thank you very much. I mean, you guys, those people are awesome. And I always thought, you know, hey, what would it be like to be a Navy SEAL? Now, the thing is, I struggle when my hands get really cold. So, even though, you know, I work to toughen myself up, so to speak, by being out here in the cold and not wearing gloves, I do like wearing gloves. I bought a pair of these. These are called Caymans. They're a light glove. I hate a big bulky glove, but these, you know, they're not real thick. They got a nice pad on them, but it's not like you're sitting there dealing with this huge bulky glove. Got some finger protectors on them. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. I've had them for several weeks now, and I use them when I'm out shoveling snow. You know, after I get my hands cold and toughen them up, so to speak. But, you know, it just feels like we could benefit from being a little bit tougher, right? I mean, my children, they, you know, only experienced a warm house, and I keep telling them, hey, you know, before I had this house, we lived in an apartment that in the winter the bedroom was like 58 degrees, and, you know, we were sacrificing so that we could build this house, you know, renovate this house, turn it into what we wanted. And, you know, will they have that kind of experience? You know, the idea of getting outside when it's like this, yes, it's cold, and, you know, no, you don't have to, but understanding that it's okay to be a little bit cold. That's what I always say, the Navy SEAls, you know, if you ever read about the Navy SEALs and the training they go through, and it's just incredible what they do. I sometimes, you know, challenge my children, like, hey, where's your little Navy SEALness at? But yeah, I'm thankful for this tractor and, you know, having the ability to plow and unshovel. Thing I'm thankful for is oops, running over my post here. Where's it at? There it is. I'm thankful for this paved driveway. Now, when I put this driveway in, I excavated down about 12 to 16 inches, and I put in geotech fabric, which keeps, you know, the gravel and stuff from disappearing into like the mud and other things that can be under the dirt, right? So, and then I brought in, I don't know, it seemed like 20 truckloads of crushed 2A, but really made a solid base and roll compacted it in. So we had a really hard driveway to start with, and I topped it with some limestone several years ago. But you know, in the winter here, if it doesn't get cold before it snows, when I go out to plow, if the ground's been wet and warm, even with the shoes down on the plow, it would just dig right in, and really a big frustration. Big first world complaint there, right? My plow's digging in. Meanwhile, it's, you know, should be happy just to be able to plow, not shovel. But a couple of years ago, my wife said, "Hey, you know, I'd really like to see the driveway paved." I said, "Okay, let's make it happen." So we saved our money up, and we had this paved. And you can see I have a video of the paving process. Had a company out of up by Chautauqua, New York, called Kingsview Paving. They did a nice job paving it. There we go. Hit the yard a little bit. But it is nice because now, even if it's, you know, which it seems like it's been lately, where in the winter we'll get rain, we'll get an inch of rain, and then it'll cool down overnight and start turning to snow, and so you got this, you know, soggy ground with snow over it, and it just is a pain to plow it. All right. So why do I light this thing up like a Christmas tree with, you know, lights flashing and whatnot? Because I got to go out and go around, and I want to make sure traffic can see me really well. So I can plow out the mailbox when I do this. The mail person doesn't have to struggle with the snow, get their vehicle stuck. But along this road, sometimes people do not give you a little bit of grace, and they ride right next to you and turn signal on, let them know I'm going in my driveway. Driveway is nice. I will say this was a, you know, not that putting money into your driveway is always an exciting thing, but it eliminates some frustration for me, that's for sure. And it does make the house, you know, the whole kind of thing pop a little bit better. Sure, when they reassess, I'll feel it in my taxes. So I like to plow this snow. Oftentimes what I'll do is I'll plow all the driveway to this spot, and then I plow the snow up into a big pile, and my daughter likes to go out and play on that snow pile, so I call it her snow pile. It makes her feel good. She gets happy about it. sketchy out here with big trucks and whatnot moving through. You always got to be watching out, especially if Route 6 is slippery. Then you got to watch out, because maybe someone's going to lose control if they try to slow down or whatnot. One more vehicle coming. So what are your thoughts? Do you think Americans could get a little bit tougher? I think we could. I think we could benefit from a little Navy SEAL training. I'm a big believer. You know, it's kind of like the idea of, you know, what happens if the electricity goes out? Well, you know, if you watch some of my other videos, you know, I wired my house to be able to run the whole house off of a generator. And I purchased a PTO generator so I can put it on this tractor, and I park it in the carport, right in front of the carport, plug it in, and then I can, you know, power my whole house. And I always maintain some diesel fuel on site, so the tractor, you know, I'm not worried about not having fuel. And I can take the generator with me where I want to go. So if my neighbors up the road, if they, in their farm, if they, you know, we lose power for a while and they need power, I can go up there, you know, with the tractor, with the generator, and I can, you know, give them a hand. So, you know, that's kind of a nice thing about having a PTO generator. The other is, I always know this tractor, I use it, so I know it's gonna run, right? You know, sometimes people buy a generator and it sits in the garage or in the shed, and then when they need it, they find out, you know, if they have a battery power, you know, battery started one, you know, with a starter, you know, the battery's dead, or the fuel went bad, or something happened, and as a result, they don't have a generator, even though they thought they had one. So for me, this works out good. You know, there is an inconvenience of having to go hook it up, which takes me 5 minutes, but as often as we lose power. But the idea of being prepared, there we go, get that pile up there a little bit for her. I wish you could really dig and sled on it. You know, I think Americans, you know, sometimes it's like, well, if the power's not running, if we don't have food in the grocery store, are we, you know, are we all going to perish? You know, the panic that came with the pandemic, you know, people worried about toilet paper. I don't know. It's like the world existed before toilet paper. The world existed before a lot of things that we, you know, like. We might not like not having it, but we'll survive it, right? It's not to say those things are bad or whatnot, but I think a lot of times they actually become what people worship. I mean, I like this tractor, but it is not the most important thing in my life. I like my house. It's not the most important thing in my life. The idea of, you know, what is important? You know, being able to take care of my family. Faith in God. I don't know. It seems like a lot of people don't know what that is. We could really use a good shot of, you know, what does that mean? How can it change your life? How can it change the way you look at everything you have? This is not my tractor, right? I mean, I say my tractor because I purchased it. I shouldn't say my house, but just a steward of these things that I've been blessed with, and you know, how can I use them to make things better? So, you know, I take this tractor and I drive up the road and I hit the neighbors' driveways, and when a friend needs something, you know, I'll load it up on a trailer and take it there if I can't drive it. Take it to my church. You know, when we have an outdoor work day, you know, how do I use these things to make the world a better place? How do you use your money, right? I mean, a lot of people think that their paycheck is theirs. But what if you look at it as it's not yours? What if you look at it as, how can I use this to make the world a better place? I'm not talking, you know, 20 bucks. I'm talking, how do you make a significant difference in the world? What's the Bible tell you about giving? What if everybody was striving to give 10% of what they earn to their church, to the betterment of their community? Maybe we wouldn't need the taxes that we have in this country, because people would be generous. I don't know why people think the government's going to be generous. They're not. It's made up of people. I'd rather deal with people on an intimate, local level about what we're trying to do than some bureaucrats all over the place, but that's just me. So now I am actually off of the blacktop and I am on some driveway, and when I get out here I'm going to actually be driving on my yard, which my intention is with the new building here to bring in some, I'm going to scrape up some topsoil, put down the geotech fabric, and make a more, oh, picked up some gravel there. I did put some gravel in front of this garage door, but make a real driveway, so that I'm not struggling when I come out here. Yeah, see, it's soft underneath. I just rolled a piece of yard. See that over there. That's what I'm saying. It's been cold here for a couple weeks, but you get that snow on the ground, it blankets it down. You know, creates actually a insulating blanket. And that's been the problem with trying to help the neighbors out, because it's so soft underneath, and I had to adjust the shoes on this to let the blade hit the ground when I'm actually on my driveway. But when you're not on solid blacktop, you need the shoes down a little bit to lift the blade off the ground an inch or two. So it's made it more of a challenge. But all right, where's my garage door opener? Oh wait, that's me. All right, so we covered a lot of ground. I'm sure I'll talk about this stuff in future videos, because it's stuff that is important to me. Stuff to contemplate. How do we get our Navy SEAL on? How do we, as Americans, get tougher? I don't know. I just feel like there's always this ability to improve. You know, improve our bodies, our health, our faith, our, you know, assistance in the community, how we can help other people. You know, are we volunteering our time? Are we, you know, the time, the talent, the treasure? You know, am I investing my time in things that can make this a better world? Am I, you know, taking my talents, right? We have so many people with so many talents in this country, and we don't utilize them, right? We tell people that they're, you know, maybe they're victims, right, of something. And I'm saying, let's rise up above all that, and realize we can do some really cool, hard, difficult things that make this a better world. And, you know, how do I use my treasure, time, talent, treasure? How do I use my financial blessings to make this a better world? I don't know. Just some ramblings from a crazy dude here. But, all right, I'm going to put this thing in the garage. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Thanks for watching.